Yay! Welcome back to I'm glad you're here. And I guess I'm really kind of saying that to myself because I'm glad you're here has not gone anywhere, but I have taken quite a bit of a pause from recording or editing and releasing episodes. And gosh, it's one of those things that was so hard to choose to do because there's so much external noise on doing things consistently, meaning releasing an episode every single week. And that was the first message I got when starting a podcast. And so I created a backlog of 30 or so episodes. I was ready to release an episode every week of the year after a couple months of starting this project. And about 6 months in, I realized I am shying away from the version of myself that I want to be in starting a podcast, and the reason I have one, and the reason I'm taking up space to begin with. Took a long pause to realize that I actually wasn't even giving myself space on my own platform. So, this episode is just me today, which is new and a little bit strange. In my head, I'm channeling talking to one of my best friends on voice memo, or we use Voxer so that they save because these are long winded thoughts and stream of consciousness. But the feeling is like I'm sharing from my soul's intuition, and the person on the other line can receive that and witness me and understand what I'm saying and what I'm creating for myself and want similar things and feels inspired by what I'm sharing and looks at creating an impact that is different and totally their vision, but inspired by the uplifting messages and ways of seeing the world. So that's kind of the energy that I'm bringing back into this podcast that I hope to carry throughout. And now that I'm well versed in taking a pause when things are feeling unaligned, not that I'm intending to necessarily pause all the time, but it's really important to me that I am authentic, that I am sharing from my heart. And I'll be honest and say that that's also really scary. That immediately when I think about sharing from my heart, it's in conflict with trying to fit in. And even when I think of the term podcast, I have a very clear idea of what that looks like. That is a 45-minute episode. It's an interview style, it's a solo style, pre written. It's something that I feel like an expert in, and I am sharing from a level of expertise or curiosity, passion, and interest. Um, it's got cover art, it's got show notes, and now on Spotify, it has the option to allow people to comment. And that's really cool. That's a way of building community. But all that's to say, even the term podcast has this external expectation, and it's taking a lot of work for me to kind of work backwards and come back to my intention, which, you know, translated into business jargon is my strategy. So, my strategy is to be as human, Molly, as possible and to not shy away from having a stream of conscious thought that maybe doesn't land for everyone, not over editing my words, trusting myself, allowing myself to be here, allowing myself to take up space. In therapy speak, we call that modeling. If someone is emotionally dysregulated and I am their therapist, I'm going to model what emotional regulation is, what safety is, how to be calm in those moments and tender and gentle. And so, what I'm doing here is modeling the future version of myself that I want to be, modeling what I'm looking for from my therapy clients, modeling what I'm looking for in my friends, my community, my partnerships, my support system, those I love and trust, and those I professionally work with. So I've got a new energy, or a new way of showing up. It's not quite a new energy. It's an energy that I embrace fully with those I feel really close to, and a way that I haven't really shown up virtually, digitally. And that's interesting. I was about to say weird, and I'm in so many therapy spaces where we really question weird. So I'll say it's fascinating for me to make that connection that I hide this part of myself, that I am quite passionate, that I can be quite loud, um, innovative in my thinking. And I really want all of that to show um, by just me being me. So I'm taking the essence of I'm glad you're here, and I'm looking at the mirror and I'm saying that to myself. I'm glad I'm here. And I'm reminded of why I named the podcast I'm Glad You're Here. And at the time, it was super exciting and overwhelming to start a podcast. And I'm Glad You're Here was this mantra that I could tell myself over and over. I deserve to be here. I deserve to start a podcast, to talk to people, to share these ideas. I'm glad I'm here. I'm glad you're here. I'm glad we're in community together. That was all possible to say. And it helped me get through 6 months of consistently posting. Um, and now, kind of, the next growth edge is what is the next growth edge? How do I summarize that in a nutshell? The next growth edge is talking by myself sometimes into a microphone and trusting that the right people are receiving this and hearing it and it resonates, or trusting that in those moments that it doesn't resonate, that I didn't do anything bad or wrong, I didn't harm anybody, and it's okay. And it's okay if my opinion is different than someone else's, and I can still voice it and I can still share it, and that we can have a conversation and we can connect, and we can do that virtually too. I do that with my clients online. We meet on Zoom. It's a new landscape, still a little bit foreign at times, and it's hard to remember that we are forging relationships virtually, but I think that's kind of where we're shifting. It's felt so isolating for so long, and we're all looking for community. We're all looking for connection. That's kind of innate in the human experience. So I hope to make this corner of Spotify or Apple Podcasts or wherever you're tuning in from, I hope to make it warm and inviting, exciting and enlivening, entrepreneurial, creative, a little trippy. So, yeah, I think this episode is kind of just a microdose of what's to come. I am opening my private practice in a couple months here, which is so exciting. And please help me come up with a more exciting, innovative name than private practice. I want it to feel restful and inspiring, uh, challenging in a loving way, and personal, trustworthy. I don't know. I'm just brainstorming, but starting a therapy business in a few months. And I'm going to hop on this platform that I created in the middle of my educational program, my path of becoming a marriage and family therapist. And this is me kind of coming back into my why I chose to become an MFT, why therapy was important for me to kind of fulfill my mission here. Part of that is also psychedelic assisted therapy. And while I've interviewed people about microdosing and psilocybin, ketamine, MDMA therapies, I haven't shared my perspective or my experiences, and also my interest in facilitating in that space. But it's going to be part of my therapy business. So this is just, coming back to the beginning in a way, or if this whole creative project is a spiral, then I'm just tagging along at one part. And I feel really grateful to trust in myself to start here before I have everything all figured out, because none of us have everything all figured out. I still have to set up my LLC. I just built a website that, oh my goodness, I had so many blocks on getting there. When I say blocks, I mean these hesitations, these fears, this kind of confusing pattern of why can't I just create it, and put so much of that negative energy that I wasn't tuning into my own ability to craft an awesome website. I'm proud to say that I got through that and I'm on the other side and I have a website. I know I can do the same with building the infrastructure of my business. And here I am talking about it before it's fully formed. So the idea here is I'm speaking it into existence. I'm here with you. You're here with me. And we're journeying together on the creative entrepreneurial path of life, path of friendship and hardship and all the things. This is 2025, a big year for me personally, a big year astrologically, big year in the Chinese zodiac too. This is a year of the snake, of shedding the layers that just keep us from being our true selves, or the parts of us that just are no longer. And for me personally, I'm getting married in September. I am graduating a master's program and starting a business. My partner is graduating from his PhD. We've moved into a home in a different part of the state that we're in. So a lot of change, a lot of growth. And this is me embracing the change while in the current of it, finding my grounding. And I think I kind of want to share that while I'm solo recording this and by myself right now, I have leaned on such incredible mentors, support systems, friends, communities, partners, so many resources. And I want to make that public. I want to make it known that I'm not doing this alone by any stretch of the imagination. It would take me so much longer. And two, I don't know. I would probably come up with a million excuses of why I shouldn't do what I want to do in the timeline I want to do it, or why it's impossible, or why I don't deserve it. So I'm really, really grateful to my support system. I want to name everyone, and then I would be horrified to think of leaving someone out, but I'll just kind of generalize and say that within my therapy practice, I learned so much about myself, about who I am as a therapist, about my career aspirations from my peers. My clients, I learned so much from. My partner, obviously, strong beam of support. And I guess not obviously, so I'll say I'm so fortunate. Um, Even getting the podcast up and running, I've had support. I've had business mentorship. I've had spiritual, emotional guidance, had my own therapy. I've had so many people and resources help me, and I've sought them out and they've come to me, and it's been this kind of push pull, beautiful integration of sorts. And I'm going to give myself credit too, for sure, because I deserve it and everyone deserves to give themselves credit. but I did not do this alone. And I am excited to talk about all of my support systems, um, ways that I've gotten through a lot of these fears and hesitations or embraced them, did the thing anyway, even though I was scared. Um, so, this is a podcast to lift you up, to remind you that you're not alone, to find tools and interesting conversations to grow in the ways that you want to grow in such a loving and deserving way. Whether it's, some alternative healing modality or a conversation on an experience that I'm sharing or whatever else it may be, because there's so much unplanned. I don't know, but here we are. I hope that you get what you need. I hope that you tune into what you need and that you seek it from these conversations and you get it. And also, please let me know if there are some topics or questions, things that you'd like this podcast to be about. Because again, I'm not alone and I want to hear you and hear from you. So I'm going to leave it at that and just say, I am excited to be back. I'm excited to be here. I'm excited to learn, evolve, and grow with this. And it's just feeling like I'm pushing that edge just enough where I'm getting close to this feels so aligned, but I'm still a little bit scared and I'm doing it anyway. So I encourage you, if there's something that you're thinking about as I say that, what's that thing that's just a little bit outside of your comfort zone that's still scary, but you want to do anyway? Do it with me. Um, and yeah, I'm glad you're here. I'm glad you're here. I'll check in soon. And yeah, yes, bye for now. Actually, I do want to part with I'm trying this thing where I'm going to market what I'm doing, and it's not going to be cringeworthy. I have a website. I have a freaking website. It's mollyrocklin.com. MOLLYROKLEN.com. I'll put it in the show notes. I'd love for you to check it out. If you're looking for therapy services, therapeutic coaching services, if you're curious what therapeutic coaching services are, reach out. I have, what's it called? One of those reach out now kind of forms at the bottom of my webpage, but you can also email me. I'm going to be opening a waitlist soon for ketamine assisted therapy, individual relational therapy groups I am looking to do in the near future. So maybe in a month or two, I'll have a better idea. Putting that out there so that it happens. But super excited to launch this and to go for it and to hold space, hold gentle, deep, tender space and get you to where you want to be. So check out my website. If my wording and essence kind of matches where you're looking to grow, please feel free to reach out. And I look forward to hearing from you. So with that, I will see you next time.